First off, I would like to say that I'm very glad that the Facebook Live through the city is active and seems to be working fine. So, although I wasn't here the last council meeting and was late for tonight, I was still able to keep track of what was going on. Thank you for that. My main reason for being here tonight is my concern with Takanasse. I have a printout from the Clearwater, goes back to 2011, and I'll just read certain excerpts from it. One of the interesting things, this is quoted, is "No one has claimed it," says L.B.W.D, who was head of the Friends Group and the Eatontown Environmental Commission, about why the coalition was focusing on cleanup of the Whale Pond Brook watershed. Here it is, again, quotes, "One of the prime ocean exits of the watershed, and there is something on the order of 8 to 10 oceanfront lakes, and it is probably the least developed and offers the best chance for rehabilitation and for being a real spawning ground for herring and other game fish that spawn there and live there their early lives." End quote. So the article goes on about the Ross Island Stone House and the work that's been done there. Again, this is from 2011. Also, it states how Whale Pond Brook, Monmouth University, the Long Branch Environmental Commission, Faith Teitelbaum, Seal Mancini, and some others, representatives who have been working hard to establish a healthy environment at the Whale Pond watershed and the Ross Island. And this Ed, and I'll spell his name, it's D-L-U-G-O-S-Z, says, quote again, "By placing a fish ladder there of the dam of the Takanasse Lake, we can turn back the hands of time and have a real natural state there. When they dammed it up as a reservoir, they stopped the spawning. Now that it is so brackish, it does not make sense to have it as a dammed up lake. So currently there's a dam there." Now I'm going to fast forward to 2014, an article from Word on the Shore, and there was, just again, I'm just going to focus in on a few spots here. The developer had to get several variances for the property, the Takanasse construction that's going on there. So because of the height requirements and the flood zone and so forth. So the project engineer, Dan Doherty, says that the first finished floor will be 17 feet above the flood zone, 2 feet higher than the city's flood zone ordinance requirements. So he explains that the developer will also be working with the city to fix the dam on the site that was damaged by Hurricane Sandy. The city has applied to FEMA to help fund the repairs. So Planning Board Chairman Ed Thomas says that the dam is important because it allows city officials to lower the water of the lake during a storm. Quote, "We need the dam to control the height of the lake," says Thomas. "Otherwise, we could lose the lake altogether." Board member Kevin Hayes says that the dam will have to be built before any construction on the site can begin. Again, in quotes, "If it doesn't get done, the project won't happen." End quote. Members of the Whale Pond Brook watershed attended the meeting and called for the elimination of the 2 southernmost oceanfront homes on that property. Thank you. Because the lake was breached during Hurricane Sandy. So CAFRA is also requiring the developer to create dunes between the homes and the beach to maintain an access path from Ocean Avenue to the beach, which will remain open to the public. The concrete access path will be located along the northern portion of the property, and there will also be 5 public parking spaces near the entrance of the site. So a fish ladder is supposed to help the fish come back into the lake during the season of spawning. And the fish ladder, from what I saw today, does not look like it is near what it's supposed to be doing. Although I understand right now it's too late, the spawning is in early spring. I'll let you see the pictures that I have here. The other question I have is, from 2011, according to these environmental people, they were worried about the quality of the lake and of its dying. So I don't know if we should allow the developer to be in charge of that area, as I was told at the March Council meeting. The raising and the lowering of the water is in their hands. This is a very special area that there's fewer and fewer of. And I think City of Long Branch has to step in and care for this. Besides the fact that the 5 public parking spots are not available. They're fenced in. And I didn't take pictures of that, but just driving by, anyone can see that.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So Patty, I was, you and I have discussed this in the past as well as others. I've tried to stay a little on top of it. Mr. Hayes has told me that it's now complete. If you don't mind, Mr. England is here, who's the new city engineer. If you have any questions, or maybe, Bill, you haven't. Have you been over there? No. So maybe you could have a brief discussion with Mr. England, and I'm sure he'd like to get over there and have some opinion on some of the things you're talking about.
Okay. I'll let you see the pictures.
The spillway and the dam are all completed as of this week. The path, the developer wants to install the concrete path on the access.
Yes.
But the Imperial House is currently under a notice of violation because their drains from the garage are draining onto the path. So they expect to be done next week with that, and as soon as they're done, the developer seeks to put the path in. He can't put the parking spaces in yet because he's still doing site work over there.
Okay.